She destroyed me. Not in a loud, dramatic way. No betrayal screamed into the night, no broken dishes. She broke me in silence. In calm, casual conversations and grocery store smiles, and the worst part, I didn't even see it coming. Not until I found the condom. And even then, I wanted to believe her. It all started so normally. After giving birth and spending almost 2 years in full mom mode, Claire decided to get back in shape. She said she didn't feel like herself anymore, that her body felt foreign, like it belonged to someone else. I understood. Honestly, I supported it. I loved that she wanted to feel good in her own skin again. She signed up at a high-end gym, started wearing matching athletic sets, talking about her new trainer, smoothies, even massage therapy they offered after workouts. We joked about it. I teased her about becoming one of those gym moms. She'd laugh and smack my shoulder. I didn't think anything of it. I mean, we were good. Solid. Married 6 years, never any big fights, never any real trust issues. We shared everything. She knew the code to my phone. I knew hers. We didn't hide. We had our movie nights, our random Tuesday takeout. We still had sex. Okay, not as much as before the baby, but enough to still feel connected. I was proud of her. I even told my coworkers how badass my wife was for bouncing back so fast. A week before our planned vacation, Claire asked me to grab a few things from her gym bag, passport photos of our son that she'd picked up earlier, that day. The bag was under the dining table. I opened it, started digging, and that's when I saw it, a small bottle of massage oil. At first, I didn't think twice, but then I read the label. Ultra-sensitive warming oil for intimate areas. Huh, that was oddly specific. When she came downstairs, I held it up and raised an eyebrow. She squinted, leaned in, then burst out laughing. "Oh my God," she said. "I grabbed it in a rush from the discount section. Didn't even read the label. That's so embarrassing." She covered her face, genuinely blushing. "It was for the massage therapist after my leg day. I didn't realize it was, you know." I laughed too. It was kind of funny. She threw it in the trash and we moved on. I didn't think about it again. Not until 3 days later. It was a Saturday morning, and I decided to take her car to the wash. She'd been complaining it was filthy, and I figured I'd surprise her. I brought our son with me. While he sat in the back seat eating crackers, I started vacuuming. I lifted the floor mat on the passenger side, and that's when I saw it, a used condom half wrapped in tissue shoved deep beneath the mat. I stared at it. I froze. I didn't even know how long I stood there, just looking. My brain wouldn't make sense of it. I picked it up with a towel and just stared at it in my hand like it wasn't real. When we got home, I waited until our son went down for his nap. Claire was folding laundry in the bedroom. I walked in, held the towel with the condom in it, and said nothing. She looked up at me. Her face went pale instantly, eyes wide. Her mouth opened, then closed. "What is that?" I said. "Nothing." She looked at the towel, then back at me. "That's not mine," she said quickly. Too quickly. "I don't know where you found that." "In your car," I said. She blinked, then something shifted behind her eyes. "Oh my God. Wait, no, my sister. She borrowed my car last weekend. Remember? She had a date with that new guy. She probably... God, that's disgusting. She must have..." Claire covered her mouth, genuinely horrified. I wanted to believe her. I really did. The explanation made sense. Kind of. Her sister did borrow the car. She had been seeing someone. It was gross, sure, but plausible. Claire even texted her in front of me, asking, "Did you do something gross in my car?" Her sister replied with a bunch of laughing emojis and a, "What are you talking about?" Claire rolled her eyes, said, "She's being annoying." I nodded, tried to laugh it off, tried to let it go. But something in me shifted that day. Not in a big way, not like a snapping twig, more like a slow crack in glass, a barely noticeable split, a change in how I looked at her, not with anger, just awareness. 2 days later, it got worse. Claire said she was going to the gym around 4 p.m. She kissed me on the cheek, wore her leggings, the usual. She left like always. An hour later, I went to grab her water bottle from the kitchen counter. She always forgot it. I figured I'd swing by the gym and drop it off, but her gym bag was sitting right there by the door. Her water bottle was inside. So were her shoes. At first, I thought maybe she forgot it all. But that didn't make sense. She was particular about her shoes. She always wore those ugly neon green sneakers that she said were the only ones that didn't hurt her. They were here. She wasn't. I called her. She didn't pick up. I waited 20 minutes, called again, straight to voicemail. So I drove. Not fast, not angry. Just driven by something I couldn't explain. I didn't go to the gym. I didn't need to. I headed downtown toward the area near the bookstore she loved, the one with the giant windows and overpriced chai lattes. And that's when I saw her walking, not in gym clothes, in jeans, a white blouse, hair done, makeup on, and beside her, some guy, tall, athletic, laughing with her. Their hands didn't touch, but their bodies moved like they belonged in the same rhythm. I didn't confront them. I didn't speed up, I didn't honk. I just drove past slowly. She never saw me. I went home, sat on the couch, didn't speak. That night, she walked in around 7, said traffic was hell, that the gym was packed. She smelled like perfume, not sweat. I nodded. She asked if I wanted to order Thai. I said sure. We ate in silence, and that night, for the first time in years, I slept on the couch. Not because I was angry, because I didn't know who the hell was sleeping in my bed anymore. I didn't sleep that night. Not really. I stared at the ceiling in the dark, listening to the sound of the refrigerator humming and the occasional car passing outside. Every now and then, I heard her shift in bed upstairs. Once, I thought she came to the stairs, like she was checking if I was still down there. But she didn't say anything. And neither did I. The next morning, everything was normal. She made coffee, packed our son's daycare bag, kissed me goodbye like nothing had happened. I sat at the table pretending to scroll my phone while her words from last night echoed in my head. Traffic was hell, the gym was packed. Right. Except her gym bag hadn't moved. Her shoes never left the house. I didn't bring it up. I couldn't. I wanted her to confess. I wanted to hear her say it, to look me in the eyes and tell me the truth. Because if I asked, if I accused, she'd just lie. And I didn't want more lies. I already had enough. That night, I watched her get dressed again. She wore tight jeans, not workout clothes, hair curled, lipstick on. I didn't say anything. She kissed me quickly and left. Said she was going to hit the treadmill, maybe try that new spin class. I nodded. Watched the door close behind her. Then I opened her closet. The sports bras she always wore were still hanging. So were her sneakers. Her gym membership card was on her nightstand. I took a deep breath and closed the door. Still, I didn't follow her. Instead, I picked up our son and took him to the park. We played for an hour, then I sat on the bench while he climbed and laughed and forgot the world. I watched him and wondered what the hell I was supposed to do. She came home around 9 p.m., said the class kicked her ass. I smiled. Said nothing. Later, when she was in the shower, I walked into the kitchen and opened her purse. There was a receipt from a sushi bar 2 neighborhoods away. Dinner for 2, 2 miso soups, 2 entrees, a glass of wine. She came downstairs, in her robe, hair wet, and wrapped her arms around my waist like nothing was wrong. I stood still, didn't move. She didn't even notice. The next morning, I woke up to her humming in the bathroom. She was doing her makeup. Our son was watching cartoons. I poured cereal into his bowl, sat next to him, and zoned out. That's when she called from upstairs. Hey, babe, have you seen my gold bracelet? The thin one? No, I called back. She came down annoyed. I thought I left it on the sink. I shrugged. Maybe it's in your car. She froze for half a second. Right, yeah, I'll check. It wasn't in the car. I know, because I checked earlier that morning. But what caught me wasn't the missing bracelet. It was how quickly she lied about it. That night, I finally asked her. Claire, I said, is there something going on? She looked up from her phone. What do you mean? I mean, are you seeing someone? The way her face twisted, it wasn't fear, it was offense. Are you serious right now? I nodded slowly. I saw you, downtown, with someone, last week. She blinked, then laughed. You're following me now? No, I just happened to see you. Well, that's convenient, she snapped. So what? Now I can't have lunch with someone? It was a friend, okay? A guy from the gym. We got coffee. Jesus. Coffee? I said. You were wearing perfume and a white blouse, not gym clothes. Oh my God, she said, standing. You're acting insane. You're turning into one of those paranoid husbands. Should I stop breathing around other people too? I just want the truth. You want to control me. That shut me up, not because it was true, but because she said it so easily, like it had been sitting on the tip of her tongue for days, waiting to be thrown at me. She stormed upstairs. I sat there staring at the bowl of half-eaten spaghetti on the table. It smelled like garlic and something I couldn't name. I hated that I still cared what it tasted like. She didn't speak to me the next morning, barely looked at me. I dropped our son at daycare and sat in the parking lot afterward, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. I wanted to scream. I wanted to grab her phone and throw it at a wall. I wanted to drive to that sushi bar, find the guy she was with and ask him one question. Do you even know she's married? But I didn't do any of that. I went home, picked up laundry, cleaned the kitchen, played with my son. And when Claire came home that night, I smiled like I hadn't been slowly dying inside all day. A few days passed. She stayed out late, too, more times. Both nights, she said it was the gym. Once she said her trainer invited her to a nutrition seminar. Another time, it was a group cardio class. I didn't believe a single word. But I still didn't say anything. I just stopped looking. At her the same way. The sex stopped. The inside jokes stopped. She barely touched me anymore, except when our son was watching. Then she'd hold my hand or kiss my cheek like we were still a team. But we weren't, and I think she knew it. One night, I woke up around 2 a.m. The bed beside me was empty. I walked downstairs and found her in the kitchen, staring out the window. What are you doing? I asked. She turned slowly. Her face was pale, tired. She looked at me like I was a stranger. Nothing, she whispered, and I believed her. Not because she was convincing, but because I didn't want to hear what the something was. I went back upstairs, climbed into bed. She didn't follow. The next morning, she packed a small overnight bag and said she was staying with her sister for a couple of days. Said she needed space. Time to clear her head. I asked if she wanted to talk first. She shook her head. I can't live with someone who doesn't trust me, she said. And then she left. I stood in the doorway and watched her drive away. And for the first time since I found that condom, I felt nothing. I didn't call her. Not that night. Not the next. I didn't text either. She didn't too. It was like we had this unspoken agreement. Pretend nothing's broken, and maybe we don't have to clean up the mess. I got used to the silence too quickly. Our house was quieter without her, not just in sound, in energy, like something had been buzzing under the surface this whole time, and now, finally, it stopped. Our son asked where Mommy was. I told him she was at Aunt Lucy's. He seemed fine with it. Kids adapt faster than adults, or maybe they just don't realize how much pain fits in a grown man's chest when he hears his child ask, "When's Mommy coming back?" 3 days passed. Then 5, and on the 6th, she walked back through the door. She didn't knock, didn't call ahead, just opened the door and stepped inside like she never left. I was in the kitchen, wiping down the counters. She stood there, holding a small overnight bag and a half-empty bottle of dry shampoo. "Hey," she said, voice low. I didn't answer. She put the bag down by the stairs and walked into the room like she wasn't sure her legs would carry her. She looked different. Not her face or hair or clothes, something deeper, like she was hollowed out from the inside. "Can we talk?" she asked. I nodded, still didn't speak. She sat at the table. Same spot she always took during dinner. I didn't sleep, she said. The entire time I was gone. I leaned against the counter, arms crossed. I waited. She looked up at me, her eyes already red. You don't deserve to be lied to. Still, I didn't move. My heart beat harder, but I forced my face to stay still. She took a breath, long and shaking. It wasn't just once. I stared. It wasn't with one guy, she said. It wasn't even about him, or them. I didn't understand. She wiped her eyes. After I gave birth, I felt invisible, not just unattractive, like I didn't exist outside of being a mom, a wife. Everything I wore had spit up on it. My body didn't feel like mine. You were trying so hard to help, to be there, and I hated that it made me feel worse. You were being perfect, and I felt disgusting. I opened my mouth, closed it again. I started going to the gym to get out of the house. At first it was just that. But then, people looked at me again. Not as someone's mom, not as a woman who hadn't slept in 2 years, just me. Her voice cracked on the last word. I didn't go there planning to cheat, she whispered. It just happened once. Then again, different men, all from the gym. They weren't even serious. They didn't know about you. I never told them. I didn't want a relationship. Then what did you want? I asked, my voice finally pushing through the lump in my throat. She looked at me with eyes that weren't defensive, just tired. To feel wanted. I stared at her. My wife, the mother of my son, a woman I thought I knew better than anyone on earth, and in that moment, she looked like a stranger. How long? I asked. She hesitated. Claire, I said, my tone sharpening. Almost a year. I blinked. I laughed. Just once. A sound so dry it startled even me. You really pulled it off, I said. Whole second life. Just like that. She didn't cry. She didn't argue. She just sat there, silent. I walked to the fridge, grabbed a beer, opened it. I should hate you right now, I said. She nodded slowly. I'd understand if you did. I don't. Her eyes snapped to mine. I don't hate you, I said again, quieter this time. I just don't know who the hell you are. She opened her mouth, but I held up my hand. Don't. Please, I can't hear more. Not right now. She looked down at her hands, picked at a fingernail. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm sure you are, I said. But it doesn't undo anything. I know. Are you in love with any of them? No. You want to keep doing it? No. Then why are you telling me now? Because I couldn't live with it anymore, she said. I thought I could, but I look at our son, and I see your face. And it hurts. The room felt too still. I wanted you to hate me, she added. It'd be easier. I finished the beer, tossed the cap in the sink. It would. She looked up again. Can I stay here tonight? No, I said. She nodded. Got up, picked up her bag. Halfway to the door, she stopped. Do you think we'll be okay one day? I looked at her for a long moment. Then I said the only honest thing I could. I don't think I can ever trust you again. She swallowed hard. Yeah, she said. That's fair. She left. I watched the taillights disappear into the street. Then I went upstairs, checked, on my son, brushed his hair out of his face. He didn't wake up. I sat beside his bed until the sun came up. I didn't cry. Not because I wasn't broken, but because there was nothing left to fall apart. It's been 3 months since she left. 3 months since she stood at the door, holding that pathetic little overnight bag, asking if we'd ever be okay. I remember the way her voice cracked. I remember the sound of her shoes on the porch as she walked away. I remember thinking, this is it. This is the moment I stop being a husband. She texted me once. Just once. Can we talk? I stared at that message for hours. Watched it like it might turn into something else. It didn't. I never replied. She never wrote again. I didn't block her. I didn't yell. I didn't go out drinking or post cryptic quotes online. I just stayed quiet. I raised our son. I got up every morning, made breakfast, packed lunchboxes, washed clothes, did the job she left behind, did the job she ran from, and every night after he went to sleep, I'd sit in the living room and ask myself the same question. How did I not see it? People say you can't miss what's right in front of you when you love someone. That's a lie. Love blinds you in the exact places where it should make you see. She was sleeping with other men while I was warming up bottles at 3 a.m. She was laughing in someone else's car while I was folding tiny socks. She was getting compliments from strangers while I was telling her every damn day how beautiful she looked with spit up on her shirt and hair in a messy bun. She didn't cheat because I stopped loving her. She cheated because she stopped loving herself and thought someone else could fix that. And I was the one who paid for it. The worst part? I still miss her sometimes. Not her now. Not the version who lied to my face and disappeared when things got hard. I miss the woman I thought I married, the one who used to dance barefoot in the kitchen while pasta boiled, the one who used to fall asleep on my chest during Sunday night movies, the one who cried the first time she saw our son on the ultrasound screen, but she's gone. Maybe she was never real. Maybe she was just a phase in her own life that I mistook for something permanent. I saw her 2 weeks ago. It was completely by accident. I was getting coffee. She walked in with a guy, not one of the ones I saw before. A new one. She looked good. Tan. Hair longer. Smile a little too wide, like she was trying too hard. She didn't see me. I didn't say anything. She was laughing, holding his arm, just like she used to hold mine. I paid for my drink and walked out. Sat in the car, didn't cry, didn't rage, just sat there and accepted it. She moved on. And the thing is, I don't hate her. I thought I would. Hell, I wanted to. I wanted to blame her for everything. For the broken home. For the ache in my chest. For the way I look at women now and immediately wonder what kind of secrets they're hiding. But the truth is, she's not a monster. She's just weak. She made choices, cowardly, selfish choices, and now she has to live with them, just like I have to live with the fallout. But I'll be okay. I'm not there yet. Not completely, but I'm healing. The other night, my son asked if Mommy was ever coming home. I looked at him and said, "No, bud. She has her own place now." He nodded, just nodded, like he understood something deeper than I expected. Then he said, "That's okay. I like it when it's just us." And that broke me, but in a good way, because I realized something in that moment. He's not growing up in a house full of lies. He's not watching a fake marriage. He's not learning that silence is love. He's watching a man who got crushed stand up again. And maybe that's what matters most. Claire may have destroyed our family. She may have ripped out my heart and lit it on fire. But she also gave me a reason to rebuild, not for her, not for revenge, for me, for him. So yeah, she cheated, and maybe one day she'll regret it, but by then I'll be too far gone to care.